Now we are going to discuss about elements of communication. These are the basic components involved in every act of communication. These elements are also called the universals of communication because it is present everywhere, every communication process, regardless it is interpersonal communication, group communication, public communication, or mass communication. Even in this communication in which I communicate with you regarding our journalism subject, I use these elements, and you people are also using these elements to get and receive the messages. So now we can see what are the basic elements and how it is functioning.
Elements of communication refer to the basic components involved in an act of communication. These elements are also called the universals of communication because they are present in every communication act, regardless of whether it is interpersonal, intrapersonal, group, public, or mass communication. The elements of communication are as follows. 1. Source. A person who sends a message or a signal is the source in communication. Communication, by definition, demands that someone send signals and someone receive them. Source, as a starting point in communication, plays an important role in the communication process. 2. Receiver. A person who receives the message or signal is the receiver in a communication process. The receiver could be one person as an intrapersonal communication or two persons as an interpersonal communication or a mass of people as in mass communication. 3. Context. Communication always takes place within a context. It can either restrict or stimulate the communication process. Communication in a funeral home, a public park, a cricket stadium, and in a church will be entirely different. As a student, the comfort and ease you experience in the college canteen will not be the same when you stand in front of the principal in his or her chamber. 4. Message. Message is anything that is sent and received. Generally, we think of communication messages as being verbal, that is, oral or written. We can also communicate non-verbally. The clothes we wear, the way we walk, the way we shake hands, the way we sit, the way we smile, etc., are examples of non-verbal communication. 5. Channel. It is the route or vehicle along which the message is transmitted from a sender to receiver. When you talk to a friend, the sound waves that carry your words constitute the channel. When you write something, the piece of paper becomes the channel. Newspapers, magazines, radio, television, and internet become the channels in mass communication. Channels may be physical, as in our voices or bodies. It can be technical, as in the telephone, television, radio, or it can be social, as in schools, media. 6. Noise. Noise in communication refers to anything that distorts or interferes with the message. The screeching of a passing car, sunglasses a person wears, prejudices, bias, poor grammar, etc., interfere with the effective and efficient transmission of messages from the sender to the receiver. Noise can be of two types: mechanical and semantic. Mechanical noise occurs when a line in a newspaper is missing, a distracting side talk in a classroom, a chuckle during a formal lecture, slow internet connectivity, a hacked website are some of the examples of mechanical noise. Semantic noise, on the other hand, is the degree of misunderstanding between the sender and receiver. It is the meaning disharmony experienced by agents of communication. 7. Encoding. Two important elements in communication are encoding and decoding. Encoding means that the message is translated into a language or code suitable for transmission to the intended receivers. Hence, encoding happens at the sender end of the model. The act of producing message, for example, speaking or writing, is termed as encoding. By putting our ideas into sound waves, we are putting these ideas into a code. Similarly, when we write, we are expressing our ideas in certain symbols. 8. Decoding. The act of understanding or comprehending a message is referred to as decoding. Decoding happens at the receiver end. When we speak, we are putting our ideas into sound waves. That is encoding. By translating sound waves into ideas, we are taking them out of the code they are in and hence decoding. Similarly, when we read a text, we are decoding the written symbols of a language. 9. Feedback. The information that is fed back to the source is known as feedback. Feedback, in general, refers to any process by which the communicator obtains information as to how his or her receivers have received the message. Such information can help to modify ongoing or future communication behavior. In a face to face communication situation, this may take the form of questions, requests to repeat something, gesture, response, and so on. In mass communication, feedback of these kinds is mainly replaced by audience research, sales figures, studio audiences, tryouts, letters, and phone calls. Feedbacks can also take the form of responses directly from superiors, colleagues, friends, and other personal contacts. Feedback may be positive or negative. Positive feedback tells the source that everything is fine and that one should continue as one has been going. Negative feedback tells the source that everything is not fine and that a change of one's behavior is necessary. 10. Effect. The consequences of communication are referred to as effect. Communication has always some effect on one or more persons. The effect could be on the source or on the receiver or on both of them.